But it is disgusting and not profitable. That's not true.
Hey, so it is not disgusting to be with maggots.
It's loving. I mean, this is nature. They're maggots. You see the way we are
They're
feeding maggots.
The way you just say, they are maggots.
We are using waste. I mean, we are now explaining the circular agriculture, the circular economy. So we are using waste that we collect from the streets, from your plate, from the dustbin, and that waste we keep it to ferment.
Before she was a founder, before the black soldier fly, before the agrovets and the farmers she supports, she was just a girl from a livestock family in Mityana, watching her parents work the land, learning that feed is everything. If the animal does not eat well, the family does not eat well. That girl grew up to become Jesca Nayebare, a social entrepreneur, an agriculturalist, an innovator, and the founder of Plus Agrovets Uganda Limited. Her mission? Produce affordable, sustainable livestock feed supplement from what? Wait, from a black soldier fly. Yes, it is an insect, ladies and gentlemen, but not the kind that swats away, the kind that can transform farming, reduce feed costs, and create jobs for women and youth. Through FarmPlus, Jesca and her team have supported hundreds of small farm holders, trained young people in insect farming, yes, okulima ebiwuka. And she has championed circular agriculture where waste becomes food and food becomes opportunity. Welcome to Ikaara CEO. I am your host, Atura Angela Marjorie. And today we are sitting down with a woman who proves that smallest creatures can become the most powerful and biggest agents of change. Jesca,
Yes.
Welcome to Ikaara CEO.
Thank you so much. I am very excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me, seeing my work and bring me here. It really means a lot to me and also contributes a lot to my work. I am very excited to be part of the Ikaara CEO.
Now, before we talk about this insect, is it okay if I call you Mama Biuka?
Anything from my field of work, I appreciate it. So it's okay. You can call me anything, and you can call me because you're talking so much of the black soldier flies, and the real magic comes from the larvae of the black soldier fly. That is the maggot. So if you call me the maggot queen, yeah, I
Maggot
appreciate.
Mama.
Yeah.
Before we get to you, the maggot mama, the larvae mama, who is this Jesca Nayebare? Where does she come from? Which kind of family did she grow up in? And what inspired her to become maggot mama?
Yeah, interesting. I love so much talking about myself, where I come from. I come from Mityana. I was raised from Mityana, and where I was born, it's also a different story. So I grew up from a family of a mother and a father, and on my side, it was a stepfather. But it made no difference as a mother and a father and a child. I am the firstborn of 5 children. Yeah, I'm the firstborn. I'm the first daughter of my mom. And yeah, that makes me feel so proud of myself and very responsible. The kind of a family that brought me up is a family that depended so much on livestock farming. So I have the real life experience of livestock farming from way back home. And to be specific in livestock farming, it was more of piggery and poultry farming. And this is where my passion for livestock farming is rooted from, because also as a person, I witnessed firsthand the struggles when it comes to livestock farming. And still, that's where my passion comes from, to solving the real-time challenges when it comes to livestock farming. Seeing my mother, my father struggling to bring us up, to bring the family up, one of the challenges they faced was feeding their livestock. Remember, our source of income, our source of livelihood was, and it is still, livestock farming. So finding out or seeing my mother struggling to feed the livestock, because if the livestock is not given food, there is no food, and they are not going to grow well. So that affects so much our income, like the incomes that we are getting from the livestock farming. So seeing my mom struggle, it pushed so much my passion for livestock. And also, like, by the time I left home, that is 2021, and coming to the real world, I witnessed, I now discover that it was not actually my family that was facing this challenge, but more other families. And that pushed me so much to start Farm Plus. And
Okay, I know you've talked about it. You grew up in a livestock family or livestock rearing family. You saw that problem up close. You've told us that feed was more expensive. Animals, if they are not fed, there is no food. Okay, the animals will also not grow well. Now, how does the maggot and the black soldier fly come in to support this?
Interesting. We are talking about food, and we are talking good from the side of livestock, but this is a challenge that we humans also face. You know, how it happens is that the current feeds on market, and now we are talking about the protein source feed, because protein is one of the nutritional content that is needed by these animals to grow well. So when I talk about this feed, I mean the soybean and the million fish. So many people have come up to take away this challenge of feeding, but on the side of the humans, forgetting the livestock.
Of the animals,
of the animals, which is also feeding us, the humans. So where the maggots, I love calling it maggots instead of larvae, though it's the same thing. So many people feel disgusted when I say maggot, but I
think I like maggot more.
You like maggot?
Because larvae feels like an ice cream topping.
I'm gonna call it maggot. So where this maggot comes in is that the protein source we are talking about is soybean and million fish. They are very rich in protein. But when you look how they come to life, the soybean and the million fish, they are seasonal and consumed by people. So there is that kind of competition for food when you go to...
Just wait. Olaba muzinda logo eguli.
Guli fine awo birthday pass.
Ye avuddeyo kati alininze kati ayogerera eno.
So how are you going to...
Oyagala tuula otya?
Like this.
Kati omuzindaalo balina okwongerako eri.
Tokukwata.
Like abusitule bwonna.
Jessica mulaba kaka. Kasibawa. Sumoli wapa skip pote. Sumoli. Just like this.
Neera.
Some course. Yeah, that's it.
Satisiba. Like that, eh?
So you can always feel free to adjust it. Kama uko bizako usai wole bora kukuini
ngo busembezaayo ko
ya pozeka like a bwalada.
Okay.
So you see some chip, even your poster that says going to sit like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to sit like that.
Right? Yeah. So,
luli wabadde wavudde mudda mugunda mu frame.
oh,
Abasudde butebe mu keeki. Yagudde bujjogerna.
I don't know. Does that affect how we started? No, it's okay. Okay. I'm just going to go to the next question.
Why?
Okay.
I was explaining. So yeah.
And yeah. Walk me through it. How a smallholder farmer comes to you, and how you try to solve this biggest headache they have about feeding their animals.
yeah, it's not actually a smallholder farmer coming to me. So as a person that has lived with this challenge, I know how it affects the farmers. And in this case, I happened to reach out to the smallholder farmer, finding more about this challenge, confirming if it is really existing. And yes, it was. And the figures they are claiming, this is something that have been written about, but then also with the interviews that we have made with my team from the smallholder farmers, we have discovered that they are spending almost 70% of the money they are investing in livestock goes into feeding. So that triggered us so much not to just sit, but to solve this challenge, because we are now thinking if 70% expenditure goes into feeding the livestock, now how about we cut this 70%? Then that means the profit margin increases. So if we cut the 70% to at least 40%, that means the other 30% is going to go into profit for the smallholder farmer. So that's how it happened. Me with the experience, going out to the farmer, looking for more smallholder farmers that have lived with this kind of a challenge as my family did. And we are now happening to solve that challenge with the black soldier fly, with the maggot.
Help me without overthinking, finish the sentence. The biggest myth about insect farming in Uganda is?
That it is disgusting and not profitable. That's not true.
Hey, so it is not disgusting to be with maggots?
It's not disgusting. It's loving. I mean, this is nature. They're maggots. You see the way we are feeding maggots.
The way you just said, they are maggots.
Yeah, you see the way it can only be disgusting with how you are bringing them up.
Yeah.
But then how we are bringing them up, it's not disgusting because we are using the food we leave on plate, like you've just eaten, leftovers. We collect that and come up with this kind of maggot. So tell me how it's going to be disgusting from the food that you've just eaten.
Okay. If you could change one thing about how farmers buy feed, it would be?
Them focusing so much onto the pricing and not the part of the feeds being nutritious and being the good quality feed that they need for their animals.
Okay. The moment you knew Farm Plus was working was when?
Yeah, that's actually interesting. So the moment I knew Farm Plus was working is when the first client that bought from us came back for more product.
Oh.
So I was like, yeah, this is really interesting. It is just a small business, a small social enterprise that came from nowhere, that came from just the available resources. But now we've made a product that is consumable. And the first client that bought it is actually coming back to buy more and referring us to more.
Okay. Your favorite success story from a farmer you've worked with is?
Just to pick one, because I mean, I have many. Yeah, I have a number of successful stories from my farmers. But it's when the first client I'm talking about gifted us an animal from his farm for actually appreciating the good performance of our animals. Yeah. So that really showed that our like the business, the Farm Plus or the Farm Plus product is not only pushing the profitability of livestock farming, but also improving the livelihood of these farmers to the extent that they are making profits that they can even share with others. I mean, someone gifting us a whole pig. And some birds.
One thing people do not understand about circular agriculture is?
One thing many of us do not understand about circular agriculture is that it's not about collecting the waste that is around us, but it's about using that waste. I mean, reusing it, recycling it, and also the waste, that waste not being called waste, but the resource. But because now in circular agriculture, we are not having anything that is going to waste, but then anything can be used as a resource to create or to make something that is going to be input somewhere else in the agricultural ecosystem. So it's not about the waste that we are collecting from the streets, from the households, from our farms, but what comes from the waste that we collect. The value.
You realize that many of us, or all of us actually, have waste that we always produce. We eat food and it will always be left over, either on the plates or even on the saucepans. For families that do not reuse this food, nti tujiddemu tujirye, n'okisanga nga tujisudde, kati eyo emmere mwe gye mucollectinga.
Exactly. So right now we are working so much with households, schools, food processing companies,
I remember schools,
and markets.
Posho and beans would be a lot left over.
Yeah, so the small portion that you leave on plate, if we add on someone else's small portion, it's going to increase. It's going to be bulky. So what we do, we work with the schools. We go put our bins there. We collect that waste maybe on a weekly basis or on a monthly basis. And the same thing happens with households and the food processing companies. So we collect that waste. And you know what? We make money out of the waste and we create impact out of what we call waste, but then for us it's a resource, it's money, it's life.
Kati Jesca, how much money do you have on your on your bank account?
I have enough.
How much is enough?
Enough to sustain myself, to sustain the business, to sustain the people around me, and also to support those that I need.
How do you balance between personal finance and company finances?
So as a business, actually not the finance of Farm Plus. So we have the finance that is responsible on the financial records of the business. So every coin that comes into the business and that coin that goes out of the business is accounted for, is balanced, it is recorded. So my financial life, my money does not have anything to do with the business. I do not keep that money. I do not do the records. If I happen to have any cash from Farm Plus, it is recorded. I am required to provide the receipts, the acknowledgement and everything. So it is well balanced.
Which is something that we need to tell the viewers outside there. If you're entering into the aspect of social entrepreneurship, many people do not know how to separate personal money from company money. The other one will say, after all, it is my business. I can spend it the way I see fit. But that kind of discipline, I think, is good enough for many of us to learn, right?
Yeah, and it is needed. It is knowledge that is supposed to be like, it is required to have, like, as you as a founder, as a business owner, because when the businesses are starting, you find that you are the finance, you are the production manager, you are everything, and you are the same person that is responsible for your own well-being. So if you are not wise enough and having the financial knowledge that you require as a founder, you're going to find that you're using the production money, the everything money to buy a good dress.
No, but your auntie in the village has swallowed a slasher. Ne bakugamba Jesca, senga oyamize slasher.
Now, how do I go to my finance and then tell her or tell him that my singer has done this? So one thing I have done as an individual is creating that line, the limit from my relative and my expenses and the business. So they know that even if they hear that FarmPlus has won 10,000 USD, it's not Jesca's 10,000 USD.
It is FarmPlus.
It is FarmPlus's money. So even if you've swallowed anything,
Apanga,
I am gonna support you from my finances if I can and if I have. If I do not have, then we look for other ways, but not looking into FarmPlus's money.
Wow. Thank you so much, Jesca, for that. FarmPlus is a women-led and youth-led organization, right? That is not just marketing. For me, that is intentional. Why is it important for you to have women and youth in agri-businesses? And what have you seen happen when a young woman learns about insect farming?
First, I don't want my words to sound like I am excluding the men. I mean, we all need to share the equal responsibilities and then equal opportunities that are coming to us. So my words, I am not excluding the men. I mean, they can also come into the space.
System, yeah.
But then as my experience at FarmPlus, I have seen how skilling young women and youth can contribute to each person around them. Like it contributes to them positively. You know, you skilling a lady into insect farming, because we do insect farming training to the women. But then our focus is on to the know-how of this insect farming.
Yeah.
But you know how these ladies are living? They are living with confidence. They are living with the ability to start their own enterprises. And also the kind of saying that has been here that agriculture, dirty work is more for the old people and also for those that have failed in life. So that means if we bring into women in the space and youths, it's going to attract more, even the men. Yeah. It's going to attract them into the business. And that's what we want as a country. I mean, we are fighting for the lives of the smallholder farmers as FarmPlus in Uganda. So if we have the women and youths into the space that are able to attract maybe the funds to attract the government into the space of agriculture, then that is very interesting and impactful for the sector.
That's true. I agree with you. Now, Jesca, here at Ikaara na CEO, we always have our signature segment that we call the CEO Rapid Fire. Here, I will present you 5 bold statements and you will have less than a second. That's okay, like less than 3 seconds to answer truth or myth, because we want to test the CEO who is behind the seat and behind FarmPlus, let's say. So are you ready?
Yeah, it sounds scary, but yeah, I am ready.
You have named a larva at some point.
Truth.
A farmer has asked you if they can eat the larva and you had to say no.
Truth.
Yeah. You have smelled so bad after a farm visit that you sprayed perfume on your clothes.
Truth.
You believe that insects work harder than most employees.
Truth.
Someone has called you the larva lady and you secretly loved it.
Truth.
You have cried because of a failed batch of feeds.
Truth.
Your mom still asks when you're getting a real job.
Myth.
Myth. Yeah. So your mom now understands you.
Yeah, now she actually understands. But when FarmPlus was starting, she had a lot of questions and I was almost blocking her. I'm like, I love my mom so much. But then with the questions that she used to ask.
Give us the number of questions she was asking.
I mean, you know, like someone reaching an extent of maybe recommending you to go out abroad and work because now what you're engaging yourself in, it's not working. We are not understanding it. How do I tell people what you are working? How, like, it wasn't make sense.
But even you, Jesca, how does a parent wake up and tell her friends that, my child is there and she works in maggots?
Yeah, because now at the start it was working in maggots, but then if I bring now my product here and you look at it, you are not seeing maggots.
You're not seeing maggots.
Yeah.
I'm sure that we will come to Farm Plus and visit. When we come to Farm Plus, we will be able to show you, our viewers, what it means.
Exactly. You are more than welcome at Farm Plus, and I'm excited to welcome you.
You have talked about circular agriculture having waste becoming food and food becoming the opportunity. Break down this to a viewer who has never heard what it means to have waste become food and food becoming an opportunity.
Breaking it down, it's very simple. I'm just going to give a brief process of how we come up with our feed, because feed is food. We are using waste. I mean, we are now explaining the circular agriculture, the circular economy. So we are using waste that we collect from the streets, from your plate, from the dustbin, and that waste, we keep it to ferment. You know what happens when it ferments? It starts smelling. And I think this is where most of people start saying it is very disgusting. Even someone asked me as a lady, a beautiful girl, how can you be working in waste? And it was so discouraging. Yeah, but now getting back to the point, it is now waste. It is fermenting from the drums that we are keeping it from. And now we are having our eggs of the black soldier flies. So we are mixing, or we are feeding the eggs onto the waste. So the waste is all going to be consumed by the eggs, and the eggs are becoming maggots. And then later we are drying these maggots with under a solar dryer, and then they are becoming consumable by the animals that you are going to eat. The animal that you're going to go and ask for a piece of chicken, but it was fed on maggots. Yeah, so that's how waste is becoming food. And just to mention, as a business that is operating in a circular ecosystem, we are not giving out any kind of waste. So when you come at Farm Plus, you will see, you will not see any space where we are disposing waste. Because even the would-be waste from the production process, it's going to become manure after being decomposed by the insects. Yeah. And then we are going to give it back to you, the farmer. You put it on your your banana plantation, and they are going to grow into food. So simply, that's how waste goes into food and opportunities.
So in the recent times, young people are expressing themselves freely. And for you, I believe agribusiness is a form of expression. What is that one thing you wish young Ugandans would express more boldly about?
The business agriculture, not agriculture as a business.
The business
agriculture, not agriculture as a business. Yeah, so when I hear someone mentioning agriculture as a business, that means they are taking it as an option. That's why you can even hear someone from Kampala saying, "Oh, Kampala eganye, kanzire mchalo nime." That Kampala has failed. Let me go back to the village and dig. So they are now resorting to agriculture
as a second
option, as something for someone that has failed in life. So how about we do this as from the first place, before you come to Kampala, do the agriculture from your village, and then the agriculture pushes you to Kampala. Yeah, before you come to Kampala and fail and then go back to the village.
I love that. What is that one gift, apart from money, that this year has given to you, given that this is your birthday? Happy birthday.
Thank you.
What is that one gift that you're going with?
I am making one more year this month, and the one gift that I would appreciate so much is resilience and growth. I do not take that for granted as a founder, as a person that has experienced several challenges in the entrepreneurship world journey. I have gotten a lot of challenges, but my resilience as a person and the kind of growth that I've experienced throughout the journey, I do not take it for granted. And that is one thing that I would love to keep getting every month and years to come.
For any young woman that is watching and listening to you today, and they want to start an agribusiness, but they fear failing, what would you tell this person?
First, failing is part of the journey. I am not discouraging anyone, but I have failed and I know how it means to be
a failure.
To be a failure. And you can only be a failure when you fail to resume, to get back to your feet and then start again. But then one thing that I can tell a lady or any person that would love to start a business or to engage themselves into agriculture is start with what you have. Let it be the resources or the skills that you have. Just start with that and then keep learning, learn continuously from experiencing it. If it's about poultry farming, it's about piggery farming, it's about anything else, just practice it and then keep learning from
the mistakes that you make.
From the mistakes that you are making. And that's where the people that will support you will find you still, because they are not going to find you at zero and support you from zero. They are supporting you from something that you started from nothing.
And that our Ikaara na CEO family is what a leader sounds like on her birthday. Grateful, grounded, composed, and still thinking about farmers. Jesca Nayebare turned her childhood curiosity into an insect-powered revolution. She is the proof that the smallest creatures can feed nations and that women with larvae can come out and innovate anyone. Today, we celebrate her and we celebrate Earth, since it is also Ikaara na CEO's 1-year anniversary. It has been 12 months of us sitting down with young people, leaders, 1 year of truth, 1 year of myth, and 1 year of real talk. Thank you so much, Jesca, for the wisdom, the laughter, and reminding us that farming is not old news. Farming is the future. And if our listeners want to support FarmPlus, they want to buy maybe feed supplements or partner with you, where can they find you?
We are located in Mpigi. Yeah. In Mpigi, Bugai village, alongside Gomba Road. That's where you can find us. But then also on our social media platforms, we on Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok. And then we have our website as FarmPlus Uganda across all the social media platforms. We are glad to welcome you.
You heard the woman. Support a local business, agribusiness, buy from FarmPlus. And if you are a young person with a weird idea, insects, larvae, maggots, whatever, don't let anyone tell you it is too small. To Jesca, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jesca. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
To our Ikaara na CEO family, happy anniversary to us. Happy 1 year to us. Thank you so much for sitting with us, Jesca. Subscribe, follow the conversation, and join us every episode as we sit down with leaders, shaping industries, ideas, and creating impact. Because here at Ikaara na CEO, vision meets execution. See you in the next episode, and cheers to another year.